We have our very first sprint race of the season here in Shanghai. Our drivers have a lot of work to do to make up for previous races, so let's hope they keep the car pointing the right way and get up some places on the grid. Hey everyone, it's M4J here and welcome back to M4JVelocity Racing here on F1 Manager 2024. Welcome to the Chinese Grand Prix and welcome to us being in the top 10 when it came to P1. Wasn't expecting this, managed to find a bit of a fluke with the old setups, kind of put it where I would want it and managed to get both my drivers. I think I did it for Mick first or Zach first. I think it was Mick first and then did a similar thing for Zach and managed to get a similar result for him. So I'm very, very happy with this. And we got a 5th and a 6th right at the end of practice, which was excellent. Bear in mind, though, there were quite a few affiliate drivers out on the track. Chloe Chambers, Kushmaini, Drogovic, Hajar, Awasa, Crawford, Goethe as well. Goethe? I always forget how to say his name. I apologise, Oliver. And Pato O'Ward were out there as well, although those two did finish above us. But still, that's a really good performance from us. And going into the sprint, that's exactly the kind of thing we needed. So yeah, Mick, setup satisfaction 97%, Zach 78%. Pretty damn happy. I was debating putting the affiliates in for this, but I decided nope, no point. It makes more sense to use these guys because it's a sprint weekend. And I think even though the setup stuff does carry over in this game, in terms of actual realism, you want your actual drivers in the actual car for a sprint weekend. So, we are now ready to head into sprint qualifying. First time doing this in this game. Only the second time, I think, doing this in F1 Manager. And we've got good confidence, 75%, 66. I'm not quite sure why Zach's is lower. I guess because his setup confidence isn't as high. Sorry, Crofty. Not interested in hearing from you today. It makes it sound like I have a problem with Crofty, and I really don't. I think he's an excellent commentator. It's just I prefer skipping the cutscenes when I'm in the game here. So we've got mandatory tyres for this. SQ1 and SQ2, we've got to use mediums, and SQ3, we have to use softs. We already know we're fast on the softs. It's just how fast are we on the softs. I've also forgotten to do all the housekeeping stuff. I was so excited about the practice results, I forgot to do the housekeeping. So, off camera, I've developed some stuff. Oh, his overalls were glitching through his leg there. That was really weird. Off camera, I've done some development of the team facilities. We've now got a helipad, a tour centre, and a something else that improves marketability. I can't remember what it is. Not done anything else in terms of car development or anything like that, or driver recruitment. That's all for a future episode or a future off-camera session. But one other thing I wanted to talk about quickly was the schedule of this series. I know in the last couple of episodes I've said there'll be 2 episodes per week. I think that's a little unattainable right now with my schedule in life. So I've swapped it back to once per week, where this week's episode will be the Chinese sprint race and qualification and things like that. And then next week's episode will be the Chinese Grand Prix. And I think if we do that for a few weeks, we'll still catch up, or start to catch up at least, with the actual F1 calendar. I think that's a better way of doing it. It means I'm not forcing myself to play the game, which means I can have more fun, which means you guys can have more fun watching these episodes. Anyway, we got sprint quali to do. So like I said, 97%. That was excellent. Very happy with that. What are we like with the old car parts? I guess this is the only thing I can look at. Oh, there we go. Engine, ERS, gearbox. Yep, everything's pretty good. Everything here is good. We have got the new rear wing and we have got the new underfloor. I did install those. I think I did that off camera as well, actually. And I believe that is the case for both cars. Yeah, rear wing, underfloor. Your stuff isn't as good, but it's not as bad. So I guess that's fine. So now we can head in and hopefully have a good sprint qualifying. I'm going to manage the session, of course. And I think we're going to head out early. So we're going to send Zach out first. And then we're going to send Mick out. Although Mick's now got to wait for the Aston Martin to go past. That looked like Alonso. I'm really psyched about that practice. Because at the start, we were right down near the bottom, as you'd expect. And then, because I got Mick's pretty quickly. I was able to send him out on mediums and then softs. And he wasn't actually doing that great with the time still. Zach was starting to put himself up there, and then out of nowhere he went 5th fastest on the softs. I was like, okay, this is something. So I put Mick on the softs and sent him out for one last run. And he beat Zach. He went 5th. So we ended up 5th and 6th, which, like I said, I'm elated by. I think that's excellent. It will not translate over into the race. I know that. Mainly because you've got this moron sat here talking to you now as the strategist. So it won't do well. Already it was recommending a 2-stopper, and I went into Russell mode and thought, nah, I can do it as a 1-stopper. I don't think that's possible. The sprint race should be interesting though, because at least in the sprint race you can be a bit more creative with how your driver pushes and things like that, because you don't need to stop, which can be very, very useful. What else was I saying? I can't remember what I was going to follow on that with, to be honest. But yeah, basically, I'm excited about this sprint race, even if we do badly. It's an opportunity to see 2 races. Hopefully we don't do as bad as I'm anticipating, but still, it's one of those things. I don't actually know why I'm going so slow here. I could do this in ×2 and then just watch the lap. Oh god, that's... yeah, look away if you've got a weak stomach like me. We can watch the actual lap here in ×1 speed. So here we go then. A lap on board with Mick Schumacher around one of the more interesting track designs in the world, with the 2 mushroom corners. They're not mushroom shaped as such. I don't know why I call them that actually. I think it's based on the old Vietnam track layout. Oh, there's an RB planted right in front of us there. That's less than ideal. Also, apologies if you can hear a fan in the background. I've got a fan on at the moment just to keep me cool. It's very hot at the moment. Yeah, so apologies if you can hear a fan. I've tried to point it away from the microphone. It's sort of on the back of my legs at the moment in the chair. But I'm trying to like lean in front of it so that you can't feel it. But yeah, it's just... one of the downsides of being a content creator is having to record in the heat like this. Half the year basically is impossible to record videos in. In the winter, I'll be using my PC for warmth, so that'll be a lot different. But right now, it's just unbearably hot. Possibly the hottest week of the year we're in at the moment. And here I am, stuck in the office, with the window cracked open and a fan on, trying to stay alive, whilst also bringing high quality and visually entertaining content to you guys. I hope. Right, so Mick's on the back foot here, thanks to that RB, which probably won't get investigated at all. There's a car coming up ahead as well that needs to get the hell out of the way. That's a Williams by the looks of things. Yes, it is. And it's not moving. Probably because they're starting to push for their lap now, but that's still massively inconvenient. Crawford goes fastest. Alonso quickly beats it. Mick's actually gone faster than Zach, which is interesting. And then Hamilton flies in with a 1:33.4, and then Joe only a second and a bit slower. Is that Alonso in front of us there? Looks like it might be. We've got time for a second run. We're going to need a second run because I think all the cars that haven't set times yet will be faster than us. And then it's just a case of when do you go out? That is a good question. We'll be watching this carefully. So first of all, we'll configure the cars. Oh, we're having to use... I might have goofed with O'Sullivan. Maybe. Have I goofed with Mick as well then? Yes, I have. Okay. So they're having to use the same tyres. And I think that actually sees us eliminated. Because I can't imagine we're going to go any faster on used tyres. But yeah, let's see when the first lot start coming out. There goes Ocon. I think that's our cue. Unless he's doing 2 runs. There goes Zhou. Right, here everyone comes. So we're going to scooch out now. Come on, Zach. Everyone's going out ahead of us. So we might get a good slipstream at least. There goes the Haas. There goes Zach. Right, now we'll send out Mick. Cool. Should we ride on board with Zach for the second lap? Follow him round. It might be a bit close to Hulkenberg here. We'll go visor cam as he charges down the final straight here and then round this corner, which is either really easy or really hard depending on what part of the oh, mix spun. That's good. Well, he's got lots of clean air in front of him now at least. Here comes Zach then into turns 1, 2 and 3, I think this is. This corner is incredibly interesting to watch. The elevation changes, the tightness changes, everything about it. It's a very interesting corner. It's an absolute nightmare to drive. I do not enjoy driving it, but I do enjoy watching others drive it. Up to the hairpin at the end here then. It's also a bit of a challenge. There's that little dip there as well, which catches me out more often than not. And then you've got these corners, which both are and aren't flat out. Yes. Take from that what you will. Into the squiggly bit in the middle, which again, this corner here you take flat out, but you really do have to trust the setup. Then you come to this corner here, which is a braking zone. You go around it here, and then you brake a little bit more for this corner, and then you have to hold it on the brakes till about here, and then you can let loose. Again, this is all taken flat out. But in F124, if you've got the wrong setup, you will find yourself being very well acquainted with that barrier on the left. Coming down the back straight, this is the longest straight in F1, I believe. 2-point-something kilometers, I want to say, but that's probably wrong. Into one of the heaviest braking zones in F1 as well. Whoever came up with that idea is evil. And then down this little straight here into the final corner, which again, I think it's a 5th gear corner. That's what Zach's done there. But I tend to switch down to 4th just for that extra little bit of braking performance. Sullivan, 17th. I don't think Mick's going to be going faster. But he surprised me before. Yeah, no, I don't actually think he's improved. That middle sector seemed to let him down. So we are out in SQ1, and there we go. The disappointment, as I predicted, is well and truly there. I think the fact that we had to go out on used tyres is what did it for us there. I don't know why there wasn't a second set of mediums there for us. So I'm a little bit pissed off about that. I know I sent Mick out on mediums in P1. I did not send Zach out on mediums. I sent him out on hards, and I sent him out on softs. So why we didn't have 2 sets of mediums, I don't know. Beyond me. Not a clue. So that's very disappointing. But we have a race now where we could perhaps make up for it if we get the strategy right. We're not going to get the strategy right. How many laps is this? 19 laps. Could we do it on a set of softs? Probably not. Almost definitely not. 22 laps. No. So I think we are going to have to go... We're not on the hards, you dummy. We're going to go on the mediums. No point in changing anything here. There's no point really in underweighing the car either. Like under fueling the car, sorry, to get the weight. And yeah, there's no point doing anything. So it showed there that hards was selected, but on the previous screen it said mediums. I don't know what's going on there either. So yeah, I think we're just gonna head into the sprint. Yes, I'm sure I want to manage the sprint.
Here we go. The sprint in Shanghai.
Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and away we go.
And away we go.
So first up, you're not fighting your teammate. After that, though, you're going to go mental. Same with you, old Mickey boy. And already, actually, Mick's got through, so that's good. But he needs to keep up the fight. Where is the onboard? There it is. So the engine's running quite hot for Mick. And for Zach, in fact. Maybe just because we're in Shanghai. It's hot in Shanghai. Go deploy for you. Remember, there's no pit stops here, so we're relying on things like safety cars and crashes to make up places if we don't do it ourselves. We're already losing significant time on the cars in front. And I think it's just a genuine thing of we're not very fast. We've still got to accept that. That P1 performance, when you factor in how many cars behind us were driven by affiliate drivers, it starts to make a bit more sense. We'd have been more mid-table. Plus the fact that we kind of got the setup done pretty quick at the start of the session meant we could go out and just push on tyres that we were burning through anyway because we weren't using them for the rest of the weekend. It doesn't paint the full picture, let's put it that way. Right, down the back straight. Charge, charge, charge. You know, we're kind of gaining and losing. If you watch the time there, it goes 0.8, 0.7, 0.8, 0.7. It's constantly fluctuating. You've braked way too early there, Mick. What's going on, mate? DRS enabled. Perez with the fastest lap so far. That's interesting. I feel like we've just dropped out of DRS range, which is frustrating. Ocon the car ahead. Is there anything we can do to pick up the pace? We've got no extra fuel right now. Confidence is okay. We've got ERS. Is it just pure speed right now that's letting us down? Quite possibly. There's no issues with the car. Either car. And they did say that Zhou's got damage, and in fact Sargent's got damage, and Alonso's got damage. So there's potential. Oh, bloody hell, Nick. Scared the life out of me then. I just looked up and saw Alpine written right in front of me. Potentially there's scope here for getting some moves done on those three if they drop back. We are starting to catch up with old Esteban here as well. So maybe there's overtaking here. We're not going to score points. I'm just going to say that now. We're not going to score points in this race. But we could still surprise some people. Is he going to make it stick? Not quite. But we've got that incredibly long back straight coming up. So if you stay just behind him here, he's going to have DRS2 mind. We've already proven that we can get behind. Get that rear wing open now. There it is. Are we closing? No, not really. A little bit, not a huge amount. The DRS train here might be doing us damage. Where's Zach? Oh, Zach's right behind. I have to remind Zach that we're not fighting here. Mick's the #1 driver. He's moved out. And he's moved back in again because there's no opportunity. We might have to reduce the ERS usage in a minute on Mick. He didn't really get the move done where I wanted him to. So we'll switch him back to neutral. Zach's, though, got quite a lot of charge left. So if he starts to challenge Mick, we might have to tell Mick to move aside. Mick's not happy with the team right now. I feel like Mick's not going to survive the season with us. But we have got affiliate drivers now who can step up, including, hopefully soon, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, who... does anyone actually call him Andrea? Everyone seems to call him Kimi, but his name is Andrea. But yeah, he seems to be the hot property this year. In the previous years, it's been Pourchaire and Piastri, whereas now it's definitely Antonelli. And he may or may not be joining us. We've put in an offer. He seemed happy with it when we put it in, so we'll see whether or not he actually accepts it. But that could be an exciting proposition. I don't want to tell Mick to move aside. I feel like he is holding up Zach a little bit, though. But he is our #1 driver and should be treated accordingly. If Zach gets past here, then, you know, that's fair game. Oh, the way that snapshot then. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this. The way that wing snapshot then. Oh, Mick's just done the job for us. Locked up. Well, that's a screenshot if ever I saw one. Where's the replay?
So this is what happened. So here
get
we
that
go,
done.
heading into turn 1. Very heavy on the brakes. By that point, it was just too late.
There, he should have just carried on round on the apron and then rejoined. Alright, Zach, what are you doing? Your teammates binned it, so let's have a look at you for a minute. He's actually filled the gap there quite nicely to Ocon. Need to be a bit more eager on the throttle there. We are trying to get moves done after all. Oh, he's sending it around the inside there. Oh my god. The drivers are definitely more aggressive this year. They have definitely worked on that. When I previewed the game even, way back in... Was it May? I think it was May. I did that. And but we're doing the Australian Grand Prix. And even then I was like, whoa, the drivers here are making moves. Sending it up the inside, sticking a wheel in. Definitely would have upset Christian Horner if he saw them sticking the wheel in on some of the corners. It was mental. But you tell them to push and they push. So that's, in that respect, pretty good, I would say. Can you imagine if this entire straight, by the way, was a DRS zone? That would be insane. Coming up to the end. Again, brakes way too early, and because Ocon's planted in the middle there, there's no way to get past, which is a little frustrating. Mick is catching up again, so that's good. We need to get past one of these cars, even if it's just the Alpine. We need to make some moves here. It's insane. We can't really use tyres. So we're going to just have to use our wits here. 4/10 behind. It goes down to like 3 or 2. Albon's now got damage. They're too far ahead for us to worry about right now. Even if we get past Ocon, we still have to get past 3 more cars, sorry, before we reach Sargent. And then there's a 2.5 second gap as well between Gasly and Sargent. It's a slog. Lap 4, 15 laps to go. Don't really want to fast forward here and miss all the action, but I might have to at this rate. Have your tyres... Yeah, you've lost some tyre life as well, so we might have to tell you to conserve. Which is also not ideal. Is that going to try something here? No. There's a crash ahead. No, don't stop. Oh my god. Could have easily gone past there. Let's get a replay of that as well to see what happened. Is that Zhou and Hulkenberg? Oh, Magnussen, sorry. And I think that's Zhou. But yeah, look, Ocon could have gone through. Zach could have gone through. We could have made up 2 places there. We don't need the Haas team reaction. Where's my cursor? There's my cursor. Yeah, we could have made up places there. And who's just gone through on us? Mick's just gone through on Zach. Oh, wait, are you still set to not fight? Sorry, Zach, that's entirely my fault. Alright, Mick. What have you got? Probably nothing. Not now, anyway. Just get the rudimentary... Oh, someone's got a penalty. Zhou, 5 seconds. Really? I don't think it was his fault. Alright, we'll get that screenshot, because that's iconic. What other views have we got? We could just do the off-board for a bit. We need one of our cars to catch Ocon again. That was a big blunder on my side. You need to manage your tyres more. I don't know, you've plateaued again. That's not too bad. Is he catching? I think he was and now he isn't. So if I set you to deploy for a little bit. Magnussen's got damage. Okay, so that's a little closer to home. If Ocon now gets past Zhou, that opens the door a little bit for us. It's whether or not he pushes. Also, of course, right now, if the race finishes here, Zhou is behind us once the penalty is applied. Harry tyres. They're behind the trend, but they're actually starting to trend towards it again. Seems to be on this trajectory. Possibly. That doesn't seem right. Race it. It's kind of like this by the looks of things. I don't know. It might be alright. We might be able to start pushing a little bit. Oh, Ocon's making the move. Ocon's through. We're right up behind Zhou now, who may or may not be carrying damage, of course, as well as the penalty. And if it wasn't for the fact that Zhou parked right in front of us there, I think we'd have got through too. Mick's going to make the move, is he? Coming down to the end of the pit straight. He switches to the inside and he sneaks through. Look at that. Pause. Snap. Good move, Mick. That's a good overtake. That should do his confidence. Apparently the world of bad. I guess because of failed overtakes in the past. That should have helped bring it back a little bit. Right, can we get Zach up now? Zach's tyres are fine, so he's on a good trajectory. Can we get Mick up behind Ocon again? The fact that Magnussen's carrying damage as well. If Ocon gets past and we catch up, we should get past as well. I don't know. There's a thing about managing at the front, winning races, winning championships, things like that. But I think at the back, where you can just get moves done, that to me sounds more fun than just starting first, finishing first, you know? And I'm not just saying that because I don't like Red Bull. Right, we haven't got DRS, so we're having to use ER. Oh, apparently we have got DRS. I don't think we had DRS there, but apparently we did. Coming up to the end of the straight here, we're a second behind. Yeah, that was not 4/10. There's a glitch in the system there. The matrix is broken. Right, we're within a second now. So if the DRS detection is before this final corner, we should get DRS again. And we do. Excellent. But we have to switch this back now, because we have to do some topping up. Oh, when did Zach get through on Joe? I missed that as well. And we're right up the back of Ocon now, even though we're on neutral. We've actually charged pretty quick there. And we have ERS Battle Assist switched on. So there will be a bit of usage here, but not much. Okay. Things are happening. We could probably speed up to ×2 for a bit now, because there's no real changes coming. As long as Mick doesn't make any mistakes here. Stays up behind. I mean, he's right on the back of Ocon here, isn't he? Look at that. Let's grab that screenshot. He's not going to get any moves done here. Whilst... Oh, Mick. You melon. He's just throttled it too early, though. And that's his teammate right in front of him. The mistakes. The mistakes. The mistakes. Magnussen's come into pit, so we can potentially capitalise off that. I'm going to set you to harvest, and I'm going to tell you to let Zach through. Because clearly, you haven't learned. So, let him through, Mick. Alright, Zach. What have you got, mate? 6 seconds down now on Ocon, thanks to that. So, possibly no chance now of doing anything. We'll watch from the helicam for a bit, single point of view. You are gaining, mind. You are gaining. Isn't it funny? Zach is the inexperienced one in this scenario, and yet he makes less mistakes. He hasn't cooked his tyres. Mick might even have to come and pit now for new tyres, which is incredibly frustrating. We still haven't qualified for the actual race either, so that's going to be fun. Oh dear. What I might do, because I think Parc Fermé rules have changed for this year, and if the game reflects that, in P2, I'm going to set Zach's setup to mix and see if it does the same. See if it has the same outcome, basically. And if it does, then we should have 2 pretty racy cars, even if we haven't got 2 pretty racy drivers. Is Zach closing? He sort of is. Mick's miles behind now, but then he's finished charging, so if he starts closing as well. Racing in clean air might make a huge difference here. It's just... it's probably not going to get used even, that screenshot, but we'll see. How's your confidence? Yeah, I'm not surprised. How's your confidence? I thought that would be higher, because we have had moves pull off. Yeah. Have you got ERS? You've got some ERS. Let's do a little bit of deployment. See if we can catch the Esteban. It wasn't Zach's fault. The fact that he's so far behind now is not his fault. It was entirely Mick's fault. He spun right in front of him and stopped. But even then, Mick being as far behind as he was wasn't necessarily his fault either. It was, if anything, Ocon's. Because when Zhou and Magnussen collided, Ocon just ground to a halt in front. Which, in real life, they wouldn't do that. They would go round, even if it involves running over debris. So I'm a little bit miffed about that. Zach is catching. It's not fast enough. We need to do 3 seconds in, what, 10 laps. It's not possible. Basically, I have to do, what was it? 3/10 a lap? Which, actually, that is possible. It's just whether or not we could do it. Where is the detection point? So the green dots, I believe, are the detection points. So there is one before the final corner, and then the other one, I think, by the looks of it, yeah, is at the top of the first left-hander here. I don't think we're going to catch. Mick's not even gaining on Zach now. I'm just going to fast forward to the end, to be honest, at this point. We're not gaining, we're not really losing. We're just maintaining. What a disappointing race. The thing is, I feel like, management-wise, it was done okay. I feel like the setup was alright. I'm not quite sure where that second set of tyres for the shootout went, mind. So that's something, if anyone knows in the comments, by all means let me know. Yeah, I don't know what happened with that. But the strategy here was good. Send them out, hope for the best. It was just the spinning German here on our team. Just let us down a little bit. Final lap, Mick's going to drop below the danger zone. Zach has managed his tyres beautifully throughout this race, if I do say so myself. He might not be setting blistering lap times, but he's actually put in a pretty consistent performance here. And I'd say that's been reflected in his result. He finishes ahead of his teammate, and were it not for some other issues going on, he may have even got some moves done further up. So I'm not too disheartened. Where's the onboard? Oh wait, sorry. Broadcast. Broadcast is this one, right? Yeah, I think in terms of Zach, he should be pretty pleased with how well he's done here. In terms of Mick, he should be pretty disappointed. Easy as that. Simple as that.
And it's a finish outside the points in today's sprint for Mick
grab
Schumacher.
some screenshots here as well.
P20 with very little promise, it's got to be said.
We won't get any of the team. No one's going to recognise that one mechanic in the background there. Yeah, disappointing, but we've still got another race to look forward to in this race weekend, which you guys, of course, will see next week. So hopefully we can still get some points on the board. For now, though, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And, of course, if you're enjoying the series so far, drop some comments down below with ideas for everything. How to improve the team, the drivers, the facilities, all that good stuff. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you for your continued support. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And until next time, I will see you soon.